ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Baby Bunting live series, Series 2, Episode 7. Today we're going to run through all of our monitors that we have on offer. Over my right shoulder here is the Babytronics bar, which includes all of our range that we've got at the moment. We're going to go down the back, and we've got Kim down there. She's actually going to go through in a lot more detail than I could. So at the moment we're at our Knox store, which is our newest store at Westfield Shopping Centre. We only opened this one about 2 months ago, so it's going really well. If you just come down here, I can see Kim straight down there. Hi Kim. My name's Shane. Kim's going to be running through all the monitors that we have available from Baby Bunting. They've changed a bit, haven't they? They have evolved. Back in my day, Kim, I've got a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. Back then, you'd go in and you'd purchase 2 tin cans and a piece of string, and that was all we had to do.
To enlighten the customers.
Yeah, definitely changed since then. Welcome everybody. Thanks for having us tonight. The purpose of tonight's session is to introduce you to baby monitors, simplify some key benefits, features and benefits, and hopefully lead you in the right direction to purchase your baby monitor, the one that's right for you. At Baby Bunting, we do offer the widest range of baby monitors. Now, for some people, this can be quite overwhelming, in which case we've got tonight going on, right? But there is a reason why we do have so many, and it is because one baby monitor is not going to suit everybody. It just isn't. And so, should we get started?
Let's get started.
All right, let's go. So, essentially, we break down baby monitors into 3 categories. So we have audio, where you can hear your baby, video, where you can hear and see your baby, and breathing movement, where you can monitor the breathing rate of your baby. So within each of these categories, it starts with a basic model. That basic model will have everything that you need. So for audio, you will be able to hear your baby. For video, you will be able to hear and see your baby. From that point on, the specs increase. Within that increased specs, you can get things that will lead you in the direction of not only what you need, but also what you want. Up to the point where there's bells and whistles, things you didn't even know you needed and wanted until you hear about it, but absolutely you will when you hear about it. So, unfortunately, the downside of all those features and benefits, Shane, is that price comes into play.
Okay.
So our role tonight is to hopefully talk you through those features and benefits and find a happy medium between your budget and the feature set that will make a difference to you and your family. So I'm going to start from super basics, yeah? So each model will have a set, a pair. One will stay with baby. We call that the baby unit or nursery unit. It is essentially a microphone, and then you have the parent unit, which stays with the parent and is essentially the speaker. So we might as well start with audio, seeing as how I'm playing with audio now. I often get asked these days, why would you choose an audio over a video when we're so used to seeing our screens these days? And it is pretty much because of that. So customers that I've spoken to that have preferred audio say that an additional screen in their world, as well as the pressure of feeling like they have to check it, they have to continually have an additional screen with them, can add an additional pressure and level of anxiety to their world. And that is not what this space is about. It's about the exact opposite, actually. And that's what audio can do. It can provide you with a level of comfort, knowing no matter where you go around your home, you will be able to be alerted should there be a call to action. You will hear baby cry. And that might be enough that you can put your clothes on the line or check the mail. I don't know, Shane, do you check the mail anymore? I don't know.
On my inbox only.
Anymore? I'm not sure. So you will be able to do that within a normal residential property. Features that can build in this space are things like light and sound indicators. So on this one in particular, you might be able to see we've actually got this one turned off, otherwise when they're next to each other you get feedback. But they will increase here through to red. So when all lights are on and red, it's noisy in there. So time to do something about it. Your window of opportunity is over. Time to go see Bub. There is a mute function, parent talk back. So that's like a two-way communication. So if it gets about halfway and you think, oh, maybe I can soothe them without going into the room as a settling technique, you might be able to sing. Would you like to try it tonight, Shane? No?
I won't be singing tonight, but thanks anyway, Kim.
You might be able to have some calming noises, something like that, to settle baby down without entering the room. Sometimes you can get ceiling projections where they will have starry night shows and things like that on the ceiling. The main one I hear about that parents find the most important is a temperature display. So this one does have it, it's not on at the moment, but it would show the temperature in the nursery. Yeah, that's what actually a good indication is when it has a tail like that, because it will get too hot if it's built into the unit. So generally it will have a little thermostat here, and it will talk to the parent unit. So it will tell you what the temperature is in the baby's room. Now, some have a cool feature that you can actually set an alert. So you can set a range that you're comfortable with. You're comfortable having Bub sleep in that environment. If it goes too cold or too hot, it will alarm on the parent unit. So you'll know, and then you can decide whether to go in or not and check on Bub. What else? Kim,
I often get asked about the security factor for the audio monitors.
Yeah. Audio is awesome, actually. It works on DEC technology, so there's not too much that interferes with it. So it has a long range, generally around up to 300 metres. So we say up to and line of sight when we're referring to monitors across the board, because what that means is that there's nothing in between, and generally that's not the truth. So depending on what is between, we'll reduce that factor. Okay. Within audio, it's not too bad, right? 300 metres will get you around your block without any hesitation. That's probably about it for audio, I think, unless you've got... No. So we'll move on to video. This is where you can hear and see your Bub. So you pretty much get all of that features and benefits built into here. The main difference is that your baby unit becomes a camera, yeah? So, and there's generally two types of cameras. So you can either get a pan and tilt, right? This is a manual version. So I don't know, can you see that on the parent unit moving? Is he alive? There he is. Oh, we're gonna hear me. How about we don't do that? Turn that down. So you pan and tilt. So this is like a set and forget version. You can wall mount these. You can stick it on a drawer or a shelving unit, but you do have to position it and then leave the room. You're no longer in control. Whereas the motorized version, you can use your parent unit to control the functionality of this camera. So just while we're talking about cameras and setups, I just want to cover off safety. So in most spec'd up, so where they're holding features and benefits within video, you do need mains power, because battery will just suck the juice and the light. It won't last long. You want to get a night through, so you won't get that out of batteries if it's spec'd up. So we have mains power, which also equals cords. Now, cords are seen as a strangulation hazard. So if you have a look at any setup guide and user instructions on any model, it will tell you that you need to set these up at least 1 metre away from your bassinet or cot. Even if you think that Bub's not on the move and you really want to have a better view, the tendency to attach it to the cot is so great. But my advice is have that thought in your head when you're designing your nursery. There's ways and means around it, by hiding it down the back of a shelf unit, near a power point, maybe moving the cot to a different corner. Things like that can make a big difference. And let's face it, we all care about Bub probably more than ourselves.
So Gary's relatively safe
Poor
there.
Gary, yeah.
Okay.
So with that covered off, I guess the other part of the puzzle is the parent unit. It starts to look a little bit different too. So you start to see a screen. Why would you choose one screen over another? The main difference is the clarity. You can probably see these two at the moment. Are they both? That one, I won't start him up again, but the clarity on this one is exceptional. You can see that, I'm sure. That makes a big difference. The other part is size. Yes, Shane, size does matter in this case. We have anywhere from 2 to 4 inches is a small size, up to 7 inches, which is our largest. That's this guy. It's measured like a telly, so diagonal.
Corner to corner, yeah.
Now, why you would want a bigger screen over a smaller screen if you had a great resolution, it comes down to extra cameras. So if you wanted to add cameras to your one parent unit, so you have multiple children, you can view both rooms at once. With a larger screen, you can split that screen view so you can see both cameras at once. Without that, on a small screen, what it does is it goes into patrol mode. What that means is it scans one camera and it moves on to the next camera. Now, in some of these units, you can go up to 4 cameras. If you chose to do that, the lag between something happening and actually you being alerted could be a minute or so. You might be fine with that, and that's okay. Some may not. So split screen is kind of cool. And generally, it will also show you the temperature in the nursery at the time where that camera is. So you'll get each of those on your view. They also have similar feature sets to that, so you can get your you must have night vision, obviously, in your cameras. You can get ceiling projectors, lullabies, white noise. You'll still have temperature alerts and set that range, like I talked about before. Most of the time, you'll get that in video. You asked me about range before, so I'll cover that off as well. So with video, it is more limited than audio. So you've got an up to range of 150 metres.
Right.
Now, because it doesn't work on that same technology, it has more interferences and can absolutely be reduced more so than audio.
Yeah.
So factors that can decrease that range is double-storey houses, concrete walls, furniture and appliance placement, other connected devices. So all of these things can reduce your range.
Yeah.
Now, some tips to overcome that. You were going to ask, weren't you?
Yes.
I could feel it. One easy one is most parent units will come with an antenna.
Right.
So you can pop the antenna up. Sorry, I should have done that. Simple. Pop your antennas up. You could move the baby unit simply from just from left to right, and it could make a difference. The biggest difference I've found is putting your baby unit higher in the room, because it tends to then absolutely be away from other devices, and we know that helps. Leading on from connectivity within that video space takes us to our latest technology, which is the remote view function. Now, what that means is that you have the ability, when you buy this kind of model, that you can download an app. The user guides and instructions will talk you through it. I have it on my phone, but where we are now, it doesn't want to play, so we're not going to show it tonight. But actually, I found the hardest thing was remembering my Apple password. Like, honestly, it was so simple. It talks you through it, so it was simple. So what that does is it adds an additional parent unit. So why would you need that? I guess if you were a secondary caregiver, so you had a full-time job, you want to check in on Bub's sleep during the day, you were a grandparent, you were overseas travelling, you'll be able to dial in off your phone. And of course, it alleviates the connectivity issues.
So would Gary need a Facebook account for that?
He may actually.
May.
You know what else you can? No, I won't go into that one yet. You can. There's a record function in there. You can do all sorts of things. It's pretty cool. Now, the other thing with this technology is it's changed. There's still monitors on the market that will have a Wi-Fi connectivity, a direct Wi-Fi connectivity, or it may still require plugging into a modem or a router. Right. Which still might be fine and better for some households if connectivity is an issue. But always, if you're unsure, read your user guide. It'll talk you through it. And often they have troubleshooting tips at the end. Just on that though, and Shane, I'm sure you'll appreciate this point, is that particularly with this set, which is your remote view function, if there's any problems, what we do ask is that you troubleshoot from home. So within each model, you will get given a little card which gives you a customer service number. Now, if you've thrown all the packaging away, which is okay, I understand, you can look it up online. Generally, business hours are better, but they will talk it through in your home, because if you come into us, it's very difficult for us to troubleshoot for you when it could be a Wi-Fi issue and the monitor might be fine. And by the time you get home, all you want it to do is work. So rather than come all the way back in and us not really being able to help you troubleshoot, you're better off doing it at home first.
So leave it in its own environment under the conditions
for sure.
it's normally put under. Yeah,
and you know what?
sense.
If you still have problems, please do come back and see us. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you just want it to work. And the experts on the customer service team to that brand will know more than we will.
Sure.
So that takes us on to our breathing movement, which is down here, and with Gary here. I guess there's a few breathing movement monitors that work quite differently. So tonight we're just going to concentrate on the Oricom BabySense 7 monitor. Now, the great point about this set, when it's on its own, is it's compatible with every single audio and video monitor out there because it's not connected to anything. So it uses the other monitor for your portability aspect. So literally, if it's something you decide to do and you've already bought into another monitor and maybe something you'd like to have, you can still do that, which is pretty cool. Now, what does it include? It includes 2 pads, which you can see up the top here, and a battery-operated control unit. So there's no power cords necessary. It is included as a medical device in the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods, and it's designed for healthy children up to 12 months of age. It is important for some parents to have this technology and to monitor the children in this way, and it's particularly so if you've had a difficult pregnancy, a difficult labour, family history of sleep apnea, SIDS, all those horrible things. They might be things that will play on your mind, and this will give you the peace of mind and comfort that you need to relax a little while Bub's sleeping. Unfortunately, though, it is often the forgotten third group of monitors. But I'll demo, if you trust me.
How
Poor
does it
baby
work?
Gary. Yeah.
I've got to get my head around it.
So, come here, baby Gary. So, in the middle of the night, we're about to settle Gary. We've changed him. He's fed. He's happy. He's ready for bed. What we would do, and I'm going to alarm this just so you can hear it. It takes 20 seconds, right? I'll tell you why in a minute. So, I don't know if you can see under here. There is a sensor pad. It's white on white, but you've got a sensor pad here. Now, I've only set this up with 1 because it's a bassinet. If it was in a cot, you do get 2 in the set, and you may need 2 once Bub starts moving. So all the wires, etc., all covered. You can see that. All right, Gary, off we go. So I'm going to turn him on, pop Gary in. What this is going to do, it's going to start to work out Gary's movement rate, his breathing movement rate. If it slows to 10 breaths per minute or no breaths for 20 seconds, it will alarm.
Beep.
Which it will, I'm sure. Any second now.
Gary might actually be breathing. It's a real baby.
Gary might be alive. What have I done? There it goes. All right. So anyway, it will alarm, and it does sound like a smoke detector going off, so you will hear it, and particularly through any of our audio devices here. I think I actually turned it off. Sorry, Gary. I'm the worst mum in the world. Sorry, Bub.
He's a real
Sorry,
boy.
Bubba. You wait, it'll go off in a minute when we're not expecting. No. Oh, sorry, guys. I really was hoping. Is it off now?
Never
Maybe.
work with monitors
Look,
or children.
It is super sensitive. So it could even be picking up on my breathing rate because I'm leaning over it. So I'm going to stand back a little bit. Due to that sensitivity, though, I guess we had some feedback over the years where they've had random alerts in the middle of the night and Bub's fine. The sole purpose this has been designed for is for that breathing movement. So if it drops lower than 10 breaths per minute or 20 seconds with nothing, it will alarm, and it's designed to jolt and wake baby back into breathing. There we go. So all we have to do is switch that off. Yeah, but it's all at the point of the cot. So the idea is mum and dad will jump up and sort that out. And look, hopefully Bub's fine and it's done its job. If not, it could be some setup issues. So things like how I said, one sensor pad in the bassinet rather than two. It could be things like drafts. It's so sensitive to air drafts. So they often suggest putting it on a solid base for drafts, as well as be aware of ceiling fans, because ceiling fans can create this rhythmical air pressure, and it will start to think that is the breathing movement rate. That's how strong those sensor pads are.
Can I just ask so it works with every mattress?
Oh, good question. Yes, except for memory foam.
Okay.
So all the inner springs, if it's got metal, if it's fat, if it's skinny, it will work. It's memory foam that it doesn't work with. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Shane. Look, I think price. So often we bundle this monitor with other monitors, because obviously for portability, you'll hear that in the middle of the night. But if you wanted to, like we said before, well, we didn't say, but we might want to go hang out in a hammock on the back deck, have a snooze while baby's snoozing, you may not hear it. So to have some sort of parent unit with you, so there's a microphone in baby's room to transmit that noise through. Yep. So we will put together bundles, but it also sells on its own. So on its own, it's $199. But like I said, you can add it to anything. So you could have the basic of audio monitors and choose that to be important to you, and you can still bundle that, and that's okay. Yep. Look, that's really it for us. You may have known what we've already talked about, or you might still feel a little bit overwhelmed. So what we did is we picked the most popular models that our customers have chosen for us recently. In each of those categories, which obviously we've talked through tonight. So I will quickly tell you what they are and some features, and so you can get a feel for, say, what other people are choosing in terms of the specs and the price. So this monitor here is our audio monitor. It's a VTech monitor BM2000L. He retails for $69. His standout features obviously are his little owl, this little guy. He has temperature alert display, which we talked about. He has parent talk back, lullabies and nature sounds. He has a night light, actually glows from his eyes. He has a mute function, and he also has a low battery alert, and includes a rechargeable battery in the parent's unit, so you can keep charging him up. So then we move on to video. This video is a VTech video, a BM5100 Bear. He retails at $199. His standout features, obviously, is this little guy, the Bear. He can support up to 4 cameras. He has a manual pan tilt camera. He has a 5-inch screen, high resolution, split screen function. He has lullabies, parent talk back, rechargeable batteries in the parent unit. So again, he plugs in. Then we go on to our remote view function. He also is a VTech monitor. He's an RM7764HD. He retails for $399. His standout features are his 7-inch screen. It's a high definition screen. He can split screen. He can hold up to 2 cameras. He has a motorized pan tilt camera, so this guy is controlled by the parent unit. He has parent talk back, lullabies and nature sounds. He has motion tracking and alerts. We didn't cover that actually. So if baby moves, it will alert you that baby's on the move, and then it can follow him. Particularly handy if Bub's crawling out of the cot in the middle of the night. And then you use the talkback function. He has a rechargeable battery in the parent unit, and he also has a direct Wi-Fi and a router modem for modes for optimal connectivity depending on what your house requires. So that's pretty cool.
So it's a wired connection rather than...
You can choose. Yep. Yeah, really cool. Then we're showcasing this bundle here at the moment, which is the BabySense 7 teamed up with the SC870WH. He retails as a pack at $499, but as I said to you, the BabySense on his own is $199. His standout features obviously are centred around the video monitor, because we've already talked about the BabySense 7, that doesn't change. So it has a touch screen, it's a 3.5-inch touch screen, has great clarity, has white noise and lullabies, ceiling projector and Starry Night Show in the baby's room, and you can also set that and the night light to all timers, so you can have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you need. It has low battery alerts and of course a rechargeable battery in the parent unit. You can actually, the handy bit with this is it's got a charge station, so you can just pick up the parent unit and pop it back in and it's back on charge. Yeah. So hopefully we've solved all your baby monitor problems, issues. You know what you want. However, if you don't, we do suggest that you do come into a baby. We encourage you to go into your Baby Bunting store. They'll be more than happy to help. It is our core purpose to support all new and expectant parents on their early parenting journey. So I'm sure they'd be rapt to see you and talk you through your bits and pieces. We also have our brand experts online at the moment from both Oricom and VTech. If you have specifics about your house, the monitor you have, monitor you're thinking of getting, issues we may have chatted about tonight that you might know about, that you want to know what model would be best for you, please jump online. They'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Just with one point, I've been asked from VTech. Alex is looking after his 8.5-week-old tonight by himself. He's very proud of himself. And he said, hang in there. He will get to your answers, but he's between parenting and answering tonight. So I'm sure if anyone will understand, it's us in our audience, right?
Multitasking.
That's it. Nat, are there any questions for us from anyone tonight?
Just one question from Diana. She has asked, what is the longest distance in terms of range on the monitors?
So it would be audio and it would be up to 300 metres. Yep. Thanks, Diana. Our one question. I think that's probably
about it. But thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a magnificent night. I've learnt a lot about monitors, as I'm sure you have as well. We'll be doing this on and off over the next few coming weeks. So thank you very much. It's good night from Shane, good night from Kim.
And Gary.
I was going to say Barry. And Barry as well. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.